Hello students, this is your flipped lesson for Storytown Vocabulary Lesson 11. To complete this activity, you will need your vocab sheet, a pen or a pencil, and optionally, you may want a highlighter. If you've lost your vocab sheet, take a look on Edmodo or Miss Rule's website for another copy. Let's get started. The directions are to watch and listen to this presentation on your own. Feel free to pause and go back as needed. Then, write the definition or meaning of each word on your vocab sheet. Finally, write a brief response to each question that goes along with the vocabulary word. Okay, let's look at the first word. Our first word this week is abundant. Abundant has the A-N-T suffix at the end, so we know that the word is either an adjective or a noun. In this case, abundant is an adjective or describing word. The definition of abundant is a great quantity or amount of something. If I were going to use the word abundant in a sentence, I might say, there is an abundant amount of books at the library. What is something that there might be an abundant amount of at Christmas time? Think about your answer and write your response on your vocab sheet. The next word this week is bearable. Bearable has the A-B-L-E suffix at the end, so we can tell that this word is an adjective or describing word. The definition of bearable is something you can make it through, even though it's unpleasant. If I were going to use the word bearable in a sentence, I might say, you can make a hot bath more bearable by adding a little cold water to it. What could you do on a freezing cold day to make it more bearable? Think about this question and write your answer on your vocab sheet. The third word this week is illuminate. Illuminate is a verb or action word in the sentence. For this word, we have two definitions that we will use in our stories this week. The first definition means make something lighter or brighter, such as the way a light bulb lights up a room. The second definition is to make something more clear or less confusing, such as by looking at an example of how to do something on YouTube, you might be illuminated in order to clear up any confusion you had on how to do that thing. If I were going to use the word illuminate in a sentence using the first definition, I might say, the night sky is illuminated by the moon and the stars. Tell some things your teacher might do during the day using each of the definitions of this word. The next word on our list is phenomenon. This word is a noun, which is a person, place, or thing. In this case, phenomenon is a thing. The definition of phenomenon is an event or incident or something that is considered extraordinary. If you were going to write about more than one phenomenon, you would use the plural form, which is phenomena. In order to use this word in a sentence, I might say, my favorite kind of natural phenomenon is a rainbow. Why are the northern lights considered a phenomenon? Think about this answer and write it on your vocab sheet. If you're not sure what the northern lights are, I'll show a picture of them in a moment while you think about your answer. Our next word is refuge. Refuge is a noun because it's a place. Let's look at the definition. A refuge means shelter or protection from danger. If I were going to use the word refuge in a sentence, I might say, I consider my bedroom a refuge because it's safe and private. You may also have heard of wildlife refuges in the past, and that is a place where animals can go to be safe from hunters and poachers. Here's your question. Where should a person take refuge during a storm? Think about your answer and write it on your vocab sheet. Our last word this week is thrive. Thrive is a verb, which means it's an action word in a sentence. The definition of thrive is to prosper or grow successfully. If I were going to use the word thrive in a sentence, I could say that even though it's very dry, camels can thrive in a desert. On your vocab sheet, you're going to do something a little bit different. In that space for thrive, I want you to draw a picture of a plant that is thriving. We've come to the end of lesson 11, so what's next? Well, just like usual, you can go back to review any words you do not understand. Please highlight or circle any words you still have questions about, and we will discuss them in class. Then, be ready to play a review game in class using these words. Next, we will read and understand stories that use these vocabulary words throughout the week. Finally, you will use each word in an original sentence, and this will be on your end of the week quiz. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.